Hey trader, what's going on? It's me, Jeremy Alexander Newsom with Real Life Trading. Hope you are doing simply sensational. Man, today is most importantly and exquisitely the 21st of November 2016. Thanksgiving is upon us for my American or North American students and or traders. And of course, if you're celebrating Thanksgiving from any other part of the world, happy Thanksgiving. It's going to be Thursday. The market will be closed Thursday and it closes early Friday. I will be doing a stock review today, obviously, because you're you're watching it and listening to it. And then I have a break on Wednesday, Friday of this week, and I'll be doing another stock review next week, starting back to our normal schedule. So this will be the actual last stock review for a whole week. Soak it in. It's going to be a good one. So let's talk about the general market. This is the SPY. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now a new higher high for the S&P 500 and for the SPY at all-time highs, another one. Loving it. Today was a big day, very exciting day for a lot of reasons. There's a closing bell. And a lot of traders doing well, making some money today, and I'm pretty excited about that. Definitely going to have to give a few shout-outs to a few traders here in just a few seconds. In fact, I'm just going to bring that over here. But really, what am I looking at on the SPY now? Well, as mentioned a few days ago, we are definitely in the Santa Claus rally right now, right? We're in the middle of December, coming into the holidays. Black Friday is a big day with the stock market as retail numbers will get posted and people will be sharing earnings and quarterly reports and earnings sales, earnings numbers, and things like that. So overall in the SPY, just at this particular point in time, looking for and kind of excited about a little bit of a retest of this all-time high. If you're not in bullish right now, it's definitely a bullish trend. There's no question about that. Just kind of waiting for, or I would wait if you're not in, just wait for a little bit more of a retest or a pullback. Now, for a lot of traders, few traders got into this 190 put sale on the SPY, which means that you're actually getting paid $1.25 per contract to potentially own some shares on SPY down there at 190. Well, my plan on that one was to buy to close if at some point that option was below 31 cents or 30 cents. It did go to 31 cents today. So buy to close for 31 or 30 cents for anyone who's in that trade. Dean's in that trade with me. And then sometime next week, probably after the holiday season and everything, I'll likely do a 205 or 204 put sale on the SPY for January, more than likely, because I really don't mind owning shares. Good candle, good gap, close an all-time high, pretty pumped. Here's the Qs, QQQ, and the Qs, another big day on the Qs. Already got my plan for tomorrow because I am calling the open tomorrow since my buddy Brad, who usually does Tuesdays, he's going to be in Puerto Rico. Let me log into this really quick just to kind of give you guys an idea of the Qs. So this was the weekly options newsletter. If you don't have it, make sure to get it. It's an amazing product. This was the November 15th, 7th edition of the weekly options newsletter. And this came out last Tuesday. So there's going to be a brand new one, the 8th edition, coming out tomorrow. So here's the 7th edition, and you'll notice very, very specific trading plan regarding the option trade. So option I plan on buying, 116.50 call option on the Qs expiring November 25th, 2016. Price I plan on paying, 75-cent limit. Risk is $400. Total option risk, 75 cents, giving you the amount of contracts or shares that you could purchase right there. And there's your two targets, $1.40 and $2.10. So this particular trade triggered at open on Wednesday, and then we hit $1.40 on Thursday, which is target one, and today, just by the skin of our teeth, we hit 210 on that trade today, which is a 100 and 200% respectively gain on that particular trade in just a few days. So those are kind of returns that we're looking at, expecting and keeping an eye out for regarding the weekly options newsletter. If you took that trade with even a $50 risk unit, you've paid for at least 2 to 3 months of the weekly options newsletter on the Qs. What I think is going to happen, or what I think is going to do now, well, we got ourselves a double bottom pattern. We closed above the neckline today, so I'm expecting probably a small pullback. Realistically, you'll see in my note that I posted today, I'm looking for a gap up tomorrow. If it happens, of course, it doesn't have to, but if it does, looking for a gap up, and I'm probably going to day trade some put options tomorrow bearishly, just for tomorrow, if that happens, right? If, keyword if. Don't know if it will, but I'll be calling the open tomorrow. So anyway, a little bit of a double bottom on the Qs, another index that I do expect for that to make a new all-time high soon. IWM, the Russell, made another all-time high today. The Dow Jones ETF, DIA has not, at least not yet, but this is a very nice little pennant pattern that you have here on the Dow. Moving averages are starting to catch up, and usually, again, going into the Thanksgiving, Black Friday holiday, stocks usually do run up a little bit. So very bullish still on the market. Don't have any real reason for it to expect a massive retracement. One of my traders, Garanga, was asking about a week ago, what's worst case scenario for if the Federal Reserve does raise interest rates in December. And I mentioned worst case scenario, I think we get like a 10% pullback. Speaking of a pullback, the VIX, ticker symbol VIX, as of today, looking at getting into some hedging positions on the VIX because we are at some all-time highs, and the options are not very expensive. A $14 call is getting into my buy zone pretty much right about now. Looking to see if I can buy it at $2.50. If I can't, no big deal. But somewhere between the $2.50 and $3 range, I'm going to be watching it very, very closely for some type of good gap or something. That's a January 14 call on the VIX, just as a hedging position, not particularly saying it's going to go higher, but with a little bit of a pop if the market does have a quick drop on Black Friday, or because of the Federal Reserve raising potentially the interest rates in December, won't be a terrible idea to simply buy low, sell high on the VIX. You can see that same exact strategy has worked out a few times in the past on VIX. All right, let's go look at some individual equities. And of course, here's Apple and Sean Bennett, myself, a few other traders. Congratulations. Ford has a 108, 107 bull put spread. My good buddy Brandon Tucker over there in Texas has a 105 put sale. A lot of us going bullish on Apple. Sean Bennett, myself, making 2.5 Rs on a bullish day trade on Apple today. Lost on Friday, made it all back and then some today on Apple with a bullish day trade. So what now? Well, I think this is a wave 4, this big retracement that we got. And I'm not saying that we're just going to easily just make higher highs. But I would say that at some point we're going to make higher highs. Here's a higher low. Here's a relative high. We'll probably do something like this into the end of the year. And then February, March, we really start cranking up. That's kind of my plan on Apple, at least on a longer term scale. A lot of traders in bullish on it, keeping their eyes on it. So shorter term, let me pull up the long-term moving averages. Here's kind of what I'm anticipating. If I actually look at this hourly chart, and let me just hide these drawings for a second, you'll see what looks to be a little bit like an inverted head and shoulders pattern. So on Apple, I'm kind of looking for a pullback down to about the 111, 110 area, and then a bounce over the next, few weeks. But overall, I do kind of like it bullish to non-directional just a little bit more. So bull put spreads, put sales, for those traders who have a margin account. That's what a lot of traders are doing on Apple, making some good money. Excited about that one. Like to see that one move a little bit higher. So really quick, let me just get some shout outs to a few traders here. There's a lot of them. This is the Slack channel. So for those traders in the trading floors, either the morning and or the afternoon, we do have a new communication application. It's called Slack. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it, especially if you have smaller companies that you work for, or maybe even bigger companies that don't use it. I'm not sure. But anyway, Slack's a really good, really good application. And I got to give a shout out to my buddy Jason Smith helping me learn how to use this. But anyway, you can see that we've been posting, let me scroll all the way back, really since yesterday. We've been getting our plans for some trades. So Johnny's posting some good trade setups. Scott, there's Johnny again on ALDR. He's looking at that one. In fact, my good buddy Danny over there in Austria played ALDR for a quick 0.4R gain today. Linderman was looking at IWM. But here's the traders I want to give a shout out to. So again, you can see Sean Bennett at 8:30 Central, 8:37 Central, 9:37 Eastern this morning. He was talking about in April 111 calls on Apple. Giles snagged a little bit of a 2Rs there. There's Bennett locking in his gain. There's Latoya, who's an amazing trader, posting a trade on CSIQ, which Scott and Amy both got a chance to make a good gain on. There's some other posts from me. Justin Jeffrey made 5 Rs today on Facebook, the Qs, and Netflix calls. Man, a lot of just really good posts in here. My good buddy Rob made 2 Rs today on Tyson. So yeah, just a lot of good opportunities to chat with other traders here. Bob, let me scroll down really quick. So Bob says, I also closed out the IBM trade today, grabbed another 3 months worth of real life trading floors. That's 7 months worth. So he paid for 7 months of the real life trading rooms just today. Loving it. Yes. All right, let's go look at Tesla. What's important about Tesla is the daily chart actually at one point today had a tweezer bottom. Well, not anymore. Here's your weekly chart on Tesla, and down at this level, I still am keeping a very close eye on a bullish bounce. Not saying it's going to happen, but for any traders looking to buy Tesla with the whole Solar City merger, I think this is a good level or a good support zone to at least watch for either some type of gap, or if you want to own shares long term, could consider put sales, bull put spreads, buying some calls, leaps, shares. Whatever your flavor of lemonade, feel free to drink it on Tesla. But again, it's out of really good support. Here's ticker symbol LN, and this is one that I got a lot of requests on. Here's the daily chart. And the daily chart on Line Corporation, you probably wouldn't believe it, but real life trading's also been following this particular stock. That's why I got so many requests on it, because it was up so massively today. Here's some of our articles recently, and you guys might remember the Real Life Trading Fall Portfolio 2016 second edition. Emailed this one out and also posted on the website. But here it is. Number 2, Line Corporation, ticker symbol LN. And the analysis was very simple. Buy the bounce off of 36.76. The low of this candle, 36.75. Boom, baby. Holla at your boy. Killing it. Loving that buy low, sell high strategy. Just really very simple. Bouncing off support on ticker symbol LN, 44.50, next target on Line Corporation. Here's BABA. Adrian Lee had himself a $91 or $92 put sale expiring last Friday. That one expired worthless. BABA looks a little more bearish, actually. Nice little inside day candle today. A little bit of a pennant. I'm going to keep a close eye on BABA, because really tomorrow and or next week could break in either direction, bullish or bearish. I'm happy with either one, honestly, but bearish makes a little bit of sense. I would love, honestly, to own BABA down here at 85. That's a really good buying location, but if you do get a good gap or a solid move on BABA a little bit higher on, tomorrow or sometime later next week, I could see BABA being bullish, but I could also see it being bearish. So just kind of one to more or less keep your eyes on and see exactly how it moves, what it does, and kind of take it from there. Matt Fetterman, gotta give a shout out to Matt Fetterman, who also took his first options trade, I believe, on the Qs and was able to exit profitably today. So Matt, good job. Here's the IBM trade that my buddy Bob was speaking of. So in the afternoon room at Real Life Trading from 5 to 6 Eastern, we've been talking about this trade based on this gap. So really, it's actually, this analysis is very, very simple. White candles gapping up into a retest gap. What do you want to do when that happens? Retest. So there's the retest, there's the pullback. You get a nice little new white soldier on that day, and that's when we started setting up this trade. That candle's also on Tech Giant Tuesday. So it broke higher the next day, and I mentioned, okay, if you're not in, you can look to do a limit buy, December week 2 call, $2.50 limit buy at 159.14. That triggered, trade up a little bit higher, 5 candles in a row. Very, very close to my target personally. But again, Bob already locked his in. Good job, Bob, on IBM. That's a really good trade. And at this point, here's your weekly chart. Probably makes it, IBM could make it easily into that 164, 165 range. And for those of you like Warren Buffett who might have some shares of IBM, if you're looking at doing a covered call, I'd probably go with the December 172.50 if there's any money there on IBM. And last but not least for today is Facebook. Good grief, Facebook. I love this stock long term. I love buying the dip on this thing. Very, very good gap, bullish gap and go today. Had a few traders looking at playing this trade, and a few did. Robert Meek was in January 115 calls a few days ago. Stan has a 117 put sale expiring 2 weeks. I actually had the 100 December put sale for 55 cents. Bought to close that today at 8 cents for 11:30 Central. Good looking move, right? So it did its thing. Here's a weekly time frame, and here's your exponential moving averages, and just trade down to the 50 EMA. I mean, that's all it did. Bounce off the 50 there, off of it there. That's 2 times, and here's 3 times your lady. Right down to a support, good potential bounce. Now, is Facebook going to go higher from here? Probably. I think so long term. However, on a shorter term level, like the next 2-3 months, I think this is a possibility that Facebook does have a little bit more of a rollover, and then I would love to buy that bounce. If we get that. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if we do get that, as it comes down to the 105, 108 region, I'd look to get in long down there. Still looking to get me some shares of Facebook back from the covered call that got taken away from me for a profit a while ago. Speaking of that, I know I said this was the last trade, but here's United States Steel. United States Steel, a lot of traders made some solid coinage on this one. $21 January put sale again to potentially own some shares down there, buy low, sell high. And Delta Airlines also with a $43 November covered call got called away for a solid gain. Excited about that one. Probably end up doing that one again. Folks, I'm pumped, and it's all thanks to you guys. You provide such amazing support, comments, emails, suggestions, thought-provoking ideas. Thank you so much for supporting Real Life Trading, ladies and gentlemen. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Hope you have an amazing Thanksgiving. I'll probably be sending out a video on Thanksgiving just saying, hey, happy Thanksgiving, you guys rock. So keep an eye out for that email. Either way, next week, starting it all back, I'll see you guys Monday of next week. And until then, remember, love life, live life, and trade it. See ya.